Hey, this is Kelly Betz, formerly Dr. Ujeezy, revisiting some places where classic battles happened in celebration of our 1,000,000 views, and talking about what happened and giving you a little behind the scenes scoop. Hey, here I am on MU campus at Speaker's Circle, where we had our 4th event. It's right under the library and Jesse Auditorium. It's just a place where you can have public speaking. It's usually wild, obnoxious preachers yelling at women, calling them whores. But we took over the space, which you don't need a permit for, which was nice. We didn't have to worry about the cops. This was the first event that I didn't book all of the matches for. Macy, Ice 9, set it up. And so he wasn't battling, he was just hosting. We had some MU journalism students filming. So since this was our 4th event, we'd had a buzz, we'd had some hype, a lot of people had seen the videos, local rappers were getting their opinions. At the time, there was a scene that was mostly at an event called Mad Real Monday where you would battle and freestyle at the end of the night. And every night they closed it off with almost an hour of freestyles. So different people had reputations for being better or worse freestylers. I was up there, I was respected. There was a guy named Sergio Slayer that I respected a lot that was at the event, and I think what had happened was there had been a football game that day, and he'd been at that game drinking before he came. So he was being belligerent and wild, and he wasn't just heckling the rappers, he was heckling them saying, you guys aren't freestyling, you guys can't freestyle, and just for almost every single performance had something to say. And if you go back and watch that event, you can hear him throughout.
We have everybody not fucking screaming during people's battle, like at least during scream after all of it.
Fuck that! They gotta move the crowd. You gotta move the crowd.
So what ended up happening was at the end of the event, he's still yelling. He kind of comes into the circle and gets himself surrounded by just a maelstrom of shit talking generated by himself. And he's at the nucleus of this thing that's bubbling over, and he's wanting somebody to battle him.
You see a ninja in the street, you gonna battle him. You ain't gonna wait 2 weeks to write a fucking rhyme to battle. Alright? Alright? Fuck side it up, man. It's off the top of the dome. I'm too cool for school. I'm too cool for school. Go home. Who said go home? Who said go home? Hey, I'll battle you. Nah, shut up. Who said go home? Who said go home? This dude? Who said go home? I don't need 2 weeks to battle you. I don't need 2 weeks to battle you. Let's go right now. Why don't freestyle? Let's go right now. Well, fuck you. This ain't no MC.
So Macy, the organizer of the event, steps in and does his thing.
Yo, I'm kicking! Cause I'm fucking this shit! Man. Come on, yo, why the fuck did you duck this event? Yo, you ain't got a strategy. You talk a lot of shit, but you're not even battling. Yo, I swear that it's true. I'll beat the fucking shit out of Erica Badu. Yo!
The future, but motherfucker, my sperm shooter will dilute you. You and your girl, but yo, you ain't even got one. I'm on the microphone, I shine like one, cause I'm on my mama's only son.
Yo, you ain't ripping shit. You got it all up in my face like you want to give me a kick. Yo, and you're rapping it sucks. You got all up in my space. You should back the fuck up.
I could've kicked you cause I represent the
This to me was a really important time in No Coast because I think we were seen as a gimmick. Acapella written battles were such a rare thing, most people hadn't heard of them. Nowadays, you go to a battle event and a lot of the people there are fans, you know, of at least URL and or at least know that it exists in this form. But at the time, it was like, you can't freestyle, what are you doing? And we were getting called like a theater performance and a lot of different stuff, which I don't really argue with, but whatever. We didn't have the most respect in the regards of hip-hop. And then here's this local respected rapper known for freestyling coming in and just getting murdered, just getting destroyed, not only making a fool of himself, but having somebody else do a very poignant job of pointing out his flaws. So that to me was a changing point in how much people respected us, and also was like, hey, don't come here and start shit, we'll tear you apart.
Yo, and actually the truth is you suck, so when you stepped up to me, you look stupid as fuck. Yeah.
Yo, so right now I'm walking the track at Stankowski Field, where we had 2 of our events, one of them right here, and another one was under a little pavilion over at the front. This is where one of our Notorious battles happen, for better or worse. Cadillac Ron versus unorthodox phrases.
Phrases,
Order, baby, let's get it in.
all the way from Los Angeles, California, Cadillac Ron, make some noise!
So Phrases had been out here a few times actually. He's a great guy, making a bond with the Florida scene where grind time had started, where the a cappella movement had started, besides New York of course, but the kind of nerdier stuff. Where that had started, getting bonds with those guys and having somebody that would come up here and vouch for us down there, I think did a lot to push us forward. So Cadillac Ron was the first guy from the Fresh Coast to come out, and we loved the Fresh Coast. We loved Cadillac Ron. What he chose to do were some bars that were originally scheduled for another event, which were supposed to point out the racism, or we're supposed to point out how unfair racism was in that it didn't attack black people. This is probably not the right thing to do at a school with a very racist history that had recently been in the news for the black frat getting cotton thrown on its front porch. Historically, we're a very racist place where that's a very real thing. So whereas in New York or LA, some other cities, people might get a little offended, here people take it very personally. For me, it was a whirlwind of emotions. I appreciated what he was doing. Personally, I thought it was funny. I was shocked. I enjoy being shocked like that. But I was there as an organizer. We didn't have a permit to be there, and halfway through the battle, the police showed up. So on top of the racism, here I was trying to talk these cops out of not shutting us down. Phrases did a great job at being theatrical, blending freestyles with writtens like he normally does. I think it was a good battle on both sides.
Motherfucking rats be the dopest. I didn't know the man who gave the commandments to Moses was practically homeless.
As far as what Caddy was saying, it was insane. It was racism to an extent I've never even heard or would never have thought of.
Your head looks like a misshapen hard prune. Your skin's so dark I can see your face in a dark room. And every time you smile, it reminds me of a racist cartoon.
Oh, man. Good shit.
In the old country, my people would just replace the harpoons and use the slaves as shark food.
While this was happening, there was a couple of guys behind him that were black that turned into more like a dozen guys that the vibe amongst them was becoming more and more tense. They are moving closer to Phrases as he went on with his bars. Of course, everybody knew it was a joke. They understood it was just a rap battle. But I mean, like I said, even I was shocked. And there is a line. So he started saying things like, "It'll come around, just wait for it, you'll get it," trying to explain that he was trying to prove a point or that this was sarcastic in some way.
Simple research. It's simple research. It's all good. Don't trip. Check it out. And forgive me, okay? If I say anything in bad taste, but I watched your mother breastfeeding you while I was in blackface and she lactates black paste. Yo, hold on, please, quiet down. Yo. And while I admit everything that my people did to your people back in the day is a tragic mistake, I still dug up the body of my great-grandfather and your great-grandmother, then reenacted her rape. It makes sense. It's all gonna make sense. Don't worry.
His third round luckily did explain, or try to explain, everything that we're willing to be racist towards Asians and white people, but you can't do it to black people, which in itself is actually a form of racism.
I'm trying to make a movement. I'm just laying out the facts. All you motherfucking battle rappers will diss gays, Asians, and Latinos, but you're afraid to say it to a black, okay? Because it doesn't matter how black you are. I hate every rapper equally.
All in all, it was one of the most tense moments of my entire life. I wouldn't replace it for anything. It goes down in battle rap history as the most racist rap battle of all time, and I'm glad I helped make it happen.
Facts is, he's a stupid ass bitch. Because when his black friends see that shit, Ron's gonna get his ass kicked.
I'm here at the Blue Note, where we had an event we called Number 6. What I remember about it is we had 8 battles, and it was 2 sets of 4 battles, and I had to kick each one of them off. And it started with me versus Abstract, who was a really well-respected MC, and he beat me pretty badly, but I had saved all of my good material for the battle like cared about more, which was against this guy Rybread, who was kind of like Fresco's hype man, and Fresco being one of the more popular battle MCs at the time, period, who was in town. At one point, I impersonated Fresco right when he was taking a drink behind me and kind of flexing, and so that came off really well to the crowd.
Yeah, I can say that I'm a gangster ruthless. I take it to him, aim and shoot it. That'd be like him saying he makes good music. It looks like this is painful to him. Somebody made him do it. Hold him aside like here's what it takes for improvement. You can just get an opponent this great and lose to him.
He flipped that.
Talking about I don't make good music. Homie, who are you kidding? Are you forgetting tonight I had a set and you didn't?
To which in the next round I came back and flipped what he had said.
He sucks. Please, chump. I didn't have a set. I set the whole thing up. I'm Dr. Cheesy. You're Mr. We don't give a fuck. All my critics suck. 2 thumbs down. I'm 2 thumbs out with the flippers up. Bring covert empire, kick their butts. Columbia, Missouri, motherfucker, middle in the cut. Catch us in a bad mood, you can end up in the trash too, like a Swisher Blunt's inner gut.
So I ended up definitively taking that one, and it was a really good feeling.
I've been waiting to see Kelly Betz come in a battle like this. It's been a long time coming. He fucking came with it.
So there it is. My review of my top 3 favorite battles from No Coast history, celebrating our 1,000,000 views. This is the Cable Access studio where I do the editing for the battles. We got a bunch of other vlogs coming up to celebrate the 1,000,000 views. Stay tuned.
This is for the highlight reel with your shit edited out.